everyone. I hope that you're all doing blessed, that you're all doing well, that you're blessed and highly favored. I'm gonna say highly flavored.
In the barbecue sauce.
Highly favored, but you know what?
Yeah.
Highly flavored and favored. I hope you're savory as a person. You got good senses, and you're highly. When people see you, they like, that's a savory person. They're so good, and we want to keep them around.
She's
highly flavored. I don't know, y'all. Just talking.
I love it.
But welcome back to another episode of Made Wonderfully, hosted by yours truly. This is Kenia.
And this is Aaliyah.
Yes, and we are proud to be your hosts for this podcast. How are y'all enjoying it so far? Season 2, we are back, and I feel better than ever. Yes, and like even I was just thinking the other day about season 1.
Mm-hmm.
The first few episodes, I felt like physically I felt good, but those last few episodes I physically felt horrible. I was out, y'all. Like I had like a really bad cold that was starting, and I physically felt bad. You know, the beginning of getting a cold, it's just like your body starts to feel weak, and you just like, you're not physically sneezing or coughing yet, but like your body starts to feel weak. And that's what I felt while filming those last few episodes. And then once the next day came, I was out, y'all, out for the counts, and I had to take off a few days off of work because that's how bad. No, that's how bad it was. Like I was coughing and sneezing. It felt like COVID adjacent. I don't know if y'all ever had COVID, but when I had COVID 2 times, it was horrible. The worst feeling I ever felt. It didn't quite feel as bad as COVID, but it felt like COVID's cousin or something. Yeah. Like they distant cousins. Like they know each other, they know of each other, but they not each other.
I'm here to attack you. Oh,
felt bad. And I look back at those last few episodes, and I'm like, you look like you need some sleep, baby. You look it. So I'm glad to be here in season 2. But I feel much better.
That's good.
Made it to the other side of it.
Finally.
And I feel good. I feel great. I hope you all do too. How are you feeling, sis?
Well, I am feeling energized. Honestly, I feel energized. I feel happy to be alive. I feel happy to be here.
Yes.
I am just feeling so well, and I am so excited to be talking about today's episode.
Yes. Would you like to introduce the episode?
Yes. So today's episode is definitely going to be talking about what your best is going to look like in different seasons.
Yes.
So I know from my experience, me looking at social media, we see that the day-to-day life of someone's routine looks way too perfect. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed, like that's how things are supposed to be. I feel like this season I need to be perfect, I need to have this, I need to have that, it needs to look a certain way. And I come to say that it doesn't have to be that way. Sometimes you're in a season of just waiting. You could be in your waiting season. You could be putting all that hard work, and you could just be waiting for your moment. And sometimes you could put all that hard work and feel like you're not next. That's why you're in your waiting season. But you just have to continue to go. Sometimes you're in your healing season. Sometimes you need to heal to be your best self in order to become that person that you want to become. Sometimes you could be in your resting season and enjoying the fruits of your labor and not worry about what's to come next because you're in your present. So I just wanted to get into what it's like to just, you know, because for me as a mom, I feel like sometimes I am on like autopilot. I just feel like my routine is always on go. I never have time to think for something for myself. I'm always what's the next step? What's my appointments? What's this? What's that? And I come to say like it is not easy, but sometimes you have to reserve 80% for someone or for people and 20 for yourself and don't feel guilty about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I would just like to add on to those points because when I was thinking about the topic of today, that your best looks different based upon what season you're in. Specifically with me, a lot of the times I'm not necessarily comparing myself to others. Sometimes I'm comparing myself to myself.
That's a good one.
And for me, I had to learn that even though the saying like, oh, I have no competition, I'm my own competition. Like, in theory, that sounds great, and I used to say that myself. But being on my journey towards healing, I had to even realize that even that's not good, to even compare myself to me. Because sometimes sometimes, for instance, it can go one or two ways. You can compare yourself to an old version of yourself that is no longer existing, that you already healed and grown from. Or you can compare yourself to when you were at like a high level of yourself, and now you're not necessarily on that plateau where you're as it looks high, you know what I'm saying? Because in different seasons I have been in places where I was doing my thing. And then in other seasons I was where I wasn't. I was at rock bottom. And I would often compare myself to when I was at my high, when I was at rock bottom. And then compare myself like, oh, you used to be that person, you used to be that. And it's just like, sometimes it's like,
changes.
You would just like talk so badly on yourself because you're not at the best you have ever been, and you're comparing yourself based on the season where you were at the best you have ever been, and you're really downing yourself. So for me, it's like I had to learn that even when I'm not in like my best season, that I can't look at, you know, my past seasons and start to compare myself to that past version of myself, because that past version of myself didn't just go through the hell that I just been through. So I can't look at that person and be like, oh well, she had it so easy, and right now I'm over here and I'm struggling, and that version of me had it easier. And it's just like, yeah, that version of you had it easier because that version of you didn't go through these things. This version of you did go through these things, and now you are more well-rounded, you are equipped, you have life experience that you didn't have before. So you may be at a season where it's not your best season, but from this season you can take life lessons, you can learn, and then you can apply it into your next season. So for me, I really had to learn to stop comparing myself to myself.
That is, I was gonna say lit, but it is lit. But I was gonna say that is so inspiring. Because I'm that type of person of like, I don't compare myself to others, because in this, there are seasons where you feel like you need to compare yourself to others, and you shouldn't be doing that. But I am one of those people who are like, I need to go ahead and do better than yesterday. I remember last year I was doing this. I had every single goal this way, and I get so discouraged when it doesn't happen that way. And I'm just like, no, I don't want it to be that way. But it's okay. And I also want to say, sometimes there are seasons where you just have to start over. Please late. It's okay. Like, sometimes you're in a season where you're just like you said, I am not that person anymore. You need to just rethink, regroup, and relearn better ways to make better decisions, and just try to be that better person that you need to be in that current moment. Because it's not easy all the time, especially with social media, but it's like you have to snap out of it sometimes and be more present.
Be present in the current moment, and know that it's okay to not be okay. And just because you're not okay right now doesn't mean that you will always stay this way. You will get through it, even if you're just going through a moment where it doesn't feel like you're making much progress. My pastor once said that, and I hope I can add the right context to this, where there is a time sometimes when you feel confused or it's not clarity, a comma is being added. And by that means that like oftentimes we can like pigeonhole ourselves into one box and say, I am just this. But you know, we are human beings, we are multifaceted. So it's many different things that we are. So like when you start to feel like unclear or uncertain, or like I've done this before, or I walked in this sector and I've done this part of my career, but right now I'm not connecting to it. I'm trying to go somewhere else. Like you were saying in the last episode, like where you feel like you're learning that where you are right now, there's something else that is better for you. So in those moments where you start to feel unclear, like I know I'm in this position, but like I feel like there's something more and I want something more, and you're not clear. My pastor said that's when God is adding a comma to your life. So it's more to you. You're multifaceted. So right now you may be in one position And right now you may feel uncertain, unclear, like, oh, I don't know, but I just have this feeling there's something more. That's because right in that moment, something else is about to come through for you.
I love
that you're about to elevate, and you're about to grow, and you're about to add something more to who you are. Because again, I'm going to keep saying it, you're multifaceted, you're multifaceted, you're multifaceted, I'm multifaceted, I'm multifaceted, I'm multifaceted, you're multifaceted, you're multifaceted, you're multifaceted.
Yes.
Like, we have so many things within us. We're never just one thing, we are many things.
Yes.
And we can grow, and we can evolve, and we can change, and we can choose different. We don't have to stay pigeonholed into one thing for the rest of our lives. We can branch out and be creative in a whole different field if we so choose to.
So I want to close out with this episode by also saying, don't be discouraged if you're in a season too long. Sometimes there are some things that you just need to learn and get by, but you're gonna get through. And with that being said, I just also want to make sure that sometimes your best is going to look different all the time, whether you're grinding and doing what you have to do, and then other times you're just resting and you just really need that rest to get by. So
yeah, I agree. Beautifully put.
Yes.
Definitely, as we were saying, in different seasons, the best you got is going to be different. So don't be too hard. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. Not even when it comes to comparing yourself to your own self. So that's all I have to say. And just leave in the comments if this video helped you in any way, if you feel like you can relate to anything we said, if you feel like you often compare yourself to yourself as well, or if you compare yourself to others. Just know that better days are on the way, and we are right here with you. We are here to be your community. We are here to push you forward. So just let us know how you may need support, and we can do our best to try to support you on your healing journey. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of May Wonderfully.